News Radio 840 WHAS coming up on today's Louisville Real Estate Show. How do you know if you qualify for a down payment assistance program loan? Also, can you work with several real estate agents at the same time putting in multiple offers? And we uncover the surprising money-saving truth about food expiration dates. This is going to be a shocker for somebody out there. Hi, everybody. Bob Sokoler, owner of the Sokoler team, Remax Properties East. Thank you so much for joining us today. Got a great show and some great folks who are with us for the duration up until the top of the hour. With us, Lee Harris, who is legal counsel over at Limestone Title and Escrow. They do a great job of closing your loan, by the way. They have great cookies as well. You can reach Lee at 649-7964. That's her cell phone, and she's a great resource for all realtors who might need some advice legal. Also here, Randy Rocky. He is one of the head guys over at Swan Financial. They do a great job of not only getting your loan to the closing table, but closed. Beautiful. They do a great job. You can reach Randy anytime, 645-0736. By the way, they shop the loan to get you the best rate, just so you know. And if you're thinking of selling your home now or in the near future, I would love to be able to help you. All you need to do, if it's now or in next year even, you can call me, 376-5483, for a free, no obligation consultation. I'll come out. It's me. No home too big, no home too small. We'll talk and see what you want to do and come up with a plan. Again, 376-5483, or go to bobsellslouisville.com and fill out the form, hit submit. And then one more thing, you can always get a free estimate instantly by going to wesellouisville.com and look at the top of the page, and you'll see a free estimate, and click on that and just fill that out. All right, so we got a lot of things going on. Let's start with Lee Harris. And Lee, I'm sure you've been following this. Several weeks ago, we told our audience about a listener who purchased solar panels. They did not work, right? You heard that? Okay.
Yes.
The company that put in the solar panels went out of business. The listener was stuck with the finance bill for the solar panels, which she has stopped paying the bill on. And so here's a follow-up question. The owner of the home, I visited this home. I felt bad for this because she's thinking of selling, but I really felt bad for this lady and her dad. And so she called the finance company that's financing the $40,000 solar panel install that's not working, and which the solar company went out of business, and asked the finance company if there's a lien that's going to be attached to the house because she wants to sell. Finance company says, and this is the key, folks, listen to this language and see what you would think. The finance company says the lien is against the solar panels. And that's all they would say. So on a legal level, what does that mean? And she's kind of in the dark here. What are your thoughts?
Well, if the lien is against the solar panels and the solar panels are attached to the house, then I don't think they're going to be able to get clear title with a house that has solar panels that haven't been paid for. That's my take on it. And that's why they do it that way, is so that, the solar panels are attached. If she took them off and gave them back to somebody, or gave them back to the financing company like a foreclosure on the solar panels, I don't know if you could even do that. But while they're attached to the house, if there's some kind of lien, I don't think any underwriter is going to give her clear title on that.
Yeah. Okay. So that becomes a major problem. Now, for the listeners, this brings up a bigger question that I really wanted to delve into. How does a listener know if there is a lien attached to their home? Maybe it was missed in the closing when they purchased it. Maybe they forgot about something, and all of a sudden now somebody out there, the trade of some sort, puts a lien. How would a listener go about finding, if they're thinking about selling, or even not, they just want to do a check, how do they look for a lien against their home?
There's two ways. One is they could use that number you gave at the beginning, and they could call me and I'll look it up for them. But it's actually, the second way is, it's very simple. You can go on in Jefferson County, you can go to Jefferson County Clerk KY.gov, and there's a little link on there that says online records. And it's very user friendly. You just click on online records, and then you put in your last name / first name, or if you have an LLC or something, you put whatever the name is that owns the property there, and a whole list of things will come up. There'll be the deed, the mortgage, and then if anybody has filed a judgment lien or any other kind of lien against the property, it'll be listed right there, and it'll say mechanics lien, judgment lien, something like that in the actual notation. And then you can click on it. You can actually see what it is, who's it from. People are supposed to be notified by mail if anyone does file a lien, but mail is not it doesn't have to be certified or anything. So some people could possibly miss it, or just throw it out like, oh, I don't know what that is, so I'm going to throw that out. So yeah, but it's very easy to look up your deed, your mortgage, and your lien.
And here's another reason why owner's title insurance is so important. Let's say they sell this house and then somehow they come back on the 40,000 solar panels. And then they put a lien on the property because they could afterwards. I mean, getting owner's title is $300 because if not, it goes more towards a lender's title. So I know we've emphasized this on the show several times. I cannot emphasize enough to get owner's title insurance.
So, all right. So, and that's a good point. I think the owner's title for the buyer, I've seen it higher than 300. We want to be accurate.
But if you don't do owner's title, then they add more to the lender's title.
Okay. So
that's how it works.
What's the average? I know that varies based on price of home. Can you give us a range?
It's based on the price of the lender's title, and you get a discount if you purchase at closing. If you get a discount because the lender's title is being purchased at the same time. If anybody wants to know exactly, you could literally know exactly down to the dollar.
Yeah.
You can go on our website, and there's a rate calculator there, and you put in the address and you put in the purchase price, and it'll tell you down to the dollar what the owner's title is, what every dollar is, and it's all dependent on the price of the property.
And
how much is being financed.
And I'll go one step further. We have access to that. Sometimes for the average person, that may be a little bit intimidating, that the calculator. Call me and I will personally put that information in if you want. Or leave the Limestone's website if folks want to try that. It's Limestone
Title and escrow.com.
Okay. Or just do a Google search. Google search.
Yeah, just put in your search engine.
Title and escrow.com. And again, the lien location for the state, give that out one more time.
Jefferson County Clerk, KY.org.
Got it. I'll try to post this in the YouTube version of the show in the notes. And by the way, if you want to see a copy of this show and this information you want to listen to again and see us, LouisvilleAnswers.com is the location to go to redirect to our YouTube channel, LouisvilleAnswers.com. And a reminder, if you want to see and read what sellers are saying about us and buyers, we've got great reviews. We really think you should be looking for the reviews of anybody that you're going to use. Go to LouisvilleZillow.com or LouisvilleGoogle.com. All right, over to Randy Rocky, Swan Financial, and we'll give out Lee's number again just in a few minutes, so stay with us, folks. So, Randy, this is a very first-time homeowner question, a potential homeowner, but I think it's good that we start here because with everything that's happening with interest rates, which have come down in recent months or weeks, right?
Yes.
I think we're going to see a lot of buyers, including first-time home buyers, out in the marketplace looking for homes. Jason, first-time home buyer, wondering, so what are the basic steps, Jason is asking in this email, that he needs to take in securing a loan for his first home? And this may be for anybody who's thinking about selling and moving up. What are the basic steps that anyone should be going through right now to look for a loan?
Yep. Call me or some other loan officer and get either have a link. We send a link over so they can do it at their leisure. It takes them about 5 to 10 minutes to fill out the application. And then they send over documents, their income documents and assets and all the above. They send that over to us. We get them a pre-approval. We go over what their payment will be at the kind of price range of house, or most people say, here's my budget of how much I can pay per month all in with taxes and insurance. And then after that's all been done, then they have a real estate agent or find a real estate agent, and then they go out and look for a home and make an offer and move forward there and then close.
Okay. So it's relatively simple. It's just making the phone calls. Now, I would suggest you talk to a realtor or friend who has maybe a recommendation on a mortgage company that you want to use, because it's always good to have a recommendation. And I would personally, because I've used them multiple times, Swan Financial, I would recommend. And the fact that they shop the loan to get you the best rate is a big plus. So, okay, there we go.
Thank you.
You are welcome. Back over to Lee Harris and Limestone Title. Harris sent us an email saying she has made offers on 4 homes now and lost all the offers. Even though the market has slowed, she's lost all the offers, even we're in the slower market. And sometimes it happens because you're putting in a lower priced offer than the home is worth, and sellers still believe the house is worth a higher price. So they'll take another offer or they won't accept. So she's wondering, to increase the odds of being able to find a home and get an accepted offer, can she work with multiple real estate agents at the same time putting in multiple offers? Lee?
Well, that's a very good and timely question, because right now there has been some major changes in the way that buyer agency is done in the state and in the nation. based upon a big lawsuit that happened with the Department of Justice and the National Association of Realtors. So typically speaking, a buyer is going to be under an exclusive buyer agency agreement with one particular agent, meaning they can't have an exclusive buyer agency agreement with 2, 3, 4, 5 people, because exclusive is just one. That's the first thing, is that you're probably going to need to just pick the agent that you like and work through that agent. And then the second thing is, if you put multiple offers on multiple properties, you risk the you run the risk, even though you've lost these first floor, you run the risk of getting 4 acceptances, and then you'd have 4 legitimate contracts. And so that is a very bad idea. Only make an offer on one property, wait till the either acceptance or counteroffer comes back, or if you really, really find a property that you like better, then make sure you withdraw any offer that you have on the table before making another offer, because it certainly happened where somebody got 2 acceptances back, within a minute, and they never withdrew the previous offer, so now they have 2 contracts, and one of those sellers is going to be very unhappy, and that's going to lead to probably damages
that you'll have to pay as the buyer putting in multiple offers. Let us backtrack for a moment to these new regulations forced onto the real estate agents everywhere by the DOJ, which some buyers are already finding that are not good, because they're being asked to pay for the buyer agent's commissions. The thing that I think was important, because we really have steered clear of this up until now, and you brought this up, I think it's a good time to really just briefly touch on. If you as a buyer go and call a real estate agent to see a home, you don't know who the agent is, you've just called one of the websites, you talk to somebody, the agent should tell you that when they meet you, even before they meet you, they could send you, or should send you, a form that basically says, what, Lee? It's a one-time showing agreement that you're going to see the home.
Yeah. It's either a one-time showing agreement, we're going to see this property, and this is the agency relationship, and this is what I'm going to be paid if you purchase this home, or it could be a longer 3 months, 6 months, whatever, however much you negotiate in time as an exclusive agency agreement, meaning you can see multiple properties during that time frame. But it's mostly to set out what agency is for buyers, and also how much they are going to be paid and how, either through the seller, through the buyer, or through perhaps a combination of both.
And the pushback has been that some buyers were being told, will tell their buyer agent, listen, don't show me any homes that aren't paying your full commission. That's just something that's happening. But the point that I want to make very clear here is that we are seeing buyers who are refusing to sign any sort of paperwork. But Lee, explain, legally, we are required to get those signatures.
Yes. A real estate agent today and forward cannot show you a home, cannot let you into a home, cannot be your buyer's agent until you have signed a buyer agency agreement setting out what buyer agency is and what fee they would receive if you purchase the home. They cannot let you in. They would be in total violation of the rules that have been set out for them now. So every single agent that you contact is going to have to get that document signed. So you're not going to be able to just go down the line and say, okay, well, I'm going to find one who won't make me, because every agent will make you sign that.
And if they don't make you ask you to sign that, they don't ask you to sign that, or they say, okay, I'll show you anyway, legally, are they breaking the law then?
They're violating the NAR and DOJ's settlement, which is not necessarily the law yet, but it is the mandated rules for all realtors. Which
can potentially be fined. You could be fined as the real estate agent for violating those regulations. Yeah, which we're waiting for more clarification as we go. All right, that gives you kind of a overall, but the important part I think we want our clients to know, and all buyers, potential buyers, is there is a new form that you will be asked to sign, but you can ask your agent to send it to you in advance, so the potential agent, whoever you're talking to, so you can review it and get some counsel. And if you want, you can call Lee and she'll help you. Coming up in just a couple of, we uncover surprising money-saving truths about food expiration dates. I'm going to be very curious to see what Randy and Lee, and I'll give you my take on it in just a couple of minutes. Also, a reminder, you can see a rebroadcast of today's show by going to LouisvilleAnswers.com. And if you want to see video of some of our sellers talking at the closing table in the past years about how their experience was, you can go to LouisvilleSellersTalk.com. You can also see some older videos, LouisvilleBuyersTalk.com. All right, we're continuing with us in just a few minutes. Randy Rocky, head guy, Swan Financial, 6450736. Also, Lee Harris, legal counsel, Limestone Title and Escrow. They do a great job of getting you closed on your loan, 6497964. I should point out, at Swan Financial and Randy shop the loan to be able to get you the best rates. And then if you're thinking of selling your home now or in the future, you can call me. No home too big, too small. Nope. And it's free, no obligation. 376-5483, or go to bobsellslouisville.com. And for a free instant evaluation, go to wesellouisville.com and fill out the form at the top. Back in a moment on News Radio 840 WHAS. News Radio 840 WHAS, Bob Sokoler, the Louisville Real Estate Show. Thank you for staying with us, folks. And thank you, Barbara Corcoran, for being a mentor. And congratulations on the Emmy Award for Shark Tank. And we appreciate everything that Barbara does. Continuing with us, Lee Harris. She's legal counsel, Limestone Title and Escrow. They do a great job of getting your loan closed. You can pick the closing attorney you want. And I'm telling you, Limestone does the top of the line job on getting your loan closed. And don't forget, by the way, to try their cookies. 649-7964 is Lee's cell phone number. Also, Randy Rocky, Swan Financial. They shop the loan. They get you the best rates, and they have great customer service. That's really important as well. You can reach Randy at 645-0736. And if you're thinking of selling your home now, or in the near future, I'd love to be able to help you. Just give me a call. No home too small, no home too big. It's a free, no obligation estimate. I come out, it's me. We talk and we come up with a plan. You can reach me 376-5483 or go to bobsellslouisville.com, fill out the form, hit submit. And if you want a free instant analysis of what your home is worth, it's computerized, but it's a start. Go to wesellouisville.com and click at the top of the page. All right. So I am a big offender. Many of you know I got married July 11th. My wife, her real name is LaDonna, but her middle name is Jean, so I call her Jeannie, just to clarify. So you'll hear me refer to her either as Jeannie or LaDonna. But so Jeannie is a stickler on dates of expiration, and rightly so, I think. For that's the major plan. So let me just ask, Lee, expiration date is, let's say, September 1, 2024. Do you keep a can or a bottle? What do you do?
If it's anywhere after like September 5th or a couple days after, I'm throwing it out.
Okay. So, and LaDonna, my lovely darling wife, would probably tell you, well, if it says September 1, she'd probably throw it out on September 1, just because she is a stickler for those dates.
I'll give it 3 or 4 days, but that's about it.
Okay. She's a nurse, by the way, over at Baptist at East Point outpatient. And so she knows her stuff. I would never disagree with what she says, though I did find this come across. So Randy, how about you? September 1 expiration date, 2024.
Depends on the product.
Oh, okay.
So like, for example, why do you, and I grew up in the meat business and wholesale food distributing business, my dad, and why do you see on restaurants, they have hanger steaks that are hanging for 3-4 weeks? And there's a point when it becomes rancid, but there's a point when it opens up the muscles and actually it's better. So it depends on the product, sincerely. Like, for example, when I go if I have to get a steak in a grocery store, I always go to the reduced section because I want it brown, a little brown, because it's aged. But if it's hamburger, not doing it. I want it fresh. So it really does depend on the product, in my opinion.
This is fascinating. So aged meats, I knew there was something to this because they sometimes, but you'll go to the discounted meat in the grocery store to get the brown meat.
Absolutely. I won't get the pork. I will not get the chicken, but if I can get an aged steak, I'm happy, and I save a lot of money.
I think you should always throw out the salad dressing because everybody keeps their salad dressing for like years and it's gross.
Okay, so now you've actually identified one of the. I have salad dressing that expired in 2015.
I do the smell test on that stuff.
Oh wait, it's closed. It hasn't been open though, Lee. It hasn't been open.
But I do the smell test and all that. And my opinion is, anyways. All
right. So a little base information for everybody. So these are the things you'll find on packaging. Best if used by. That date, that whatever's there, suggests when a product will be at its peak quality. It will still be safe to consume after that date, but the flavor and texture quality will start to go down. So remember that. That's used by. And then use by. Now, that date is usually found on more perishable items like meat, Randy. It's still okay to consume the product for a short period after the date, as Randy says, if it's a little brown, but don't wait too long.
Right.
Okay? And then sell by. You see these sell by? This date tells retailers when the product should be off the shelves. Okay? So that's sell by, when it should be off the shelves. Okay. So the question will start with canned food. How long does it last? Now, this is according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. And LaDonna, when we bought this house in Norton Commons, she said to me, go through all the food you're bringing in and get rid of this stuff. Well, I never had the time to really go through it, and it's there, but she has the option if she wants to throw it we tried some canned soup the other day that was expired for a couple of years and it still was good. Anyway, the U.S. Department of Agriculture canned food says can last indefinitely as long as the cans are indented, rusted, or swollen. Expiration dates on canned goods are more of an indication of quality rather than safety. A good rule of thumb to keep in mind, high acid foods like tomatoes, which LaDonna doesn't like, so that's not a problem, and other fruits will keep their best quality up to 18 months. Canned fruits, 18 months, while lower acid foods like meats, Randy, and other vegetables will keep their best quality for 2 to 5 years. Okay? How long can frozen food last? Frozen food. Most canned goods, frozen food, can last indefinitely, according to foodsafety.gov. Any printed dates on frozen food are, again, an indication of how long the food will be at its best quality. How about freezed or pickled food? A great way to extend the life of your food is to freeze it. Just make sure you do it right away. You can also turn your vegetables into pickles and prevent them from going bad. All right, so just to let you know, that is the premise. And now go forth, folks. Take that information and make a decision with your family whether you save or throw. And you.
So I want real quick. So fast food restaurant. I was in a group and the lady brought for seven. It was on year 17 when I got out of the group. She would bring in once a year the hamburger with the bun, and there's nothing that happened to it. So you can imagine the preservatives in that. I was like, oh my gosh, it was 17 years, and she left it out. She left it out.
Get out!
I am not kidding you. And now again, obviously you couldn't consume it, but it didn't mold. It didn't do anything. It would look like the regular hamburger. And I was like, oh my gosh. But that's another off the subject a little.
By the way, to see what Randy looks like now after eating 17-year-old meat, go to LouisvilleAnswers.com and see a replay of the show. Yeah, not refrigerated. Wow. LouisvilleAnswers.com. All right. I will still acquiesce to whatever my wife LaDonna wants to do, just so you know.
Yeah.
I put that on record.
I agree with that.
She wants, it's a good call. She says throw it out, it's out.
Out.
I know. Okay. Question for Randy. Rocky Luddy has a problem. He and his wife put a deposit down on a home last month. In the email he sent us, and you can send us an email, by the way, bob@wesellouisville.com. They went, just put radio question and put the question in the body of the email. They went through inspections. They were getting ready to close when he unexpectedly lost his job, Luddy says. Because of that, the mortgage company is not going to allow him to close.
Right.
He's trying to figure out how does he get his good faith earnest money check back, which amounts for $2,000. Randy?
They probably will not. And sometimes you can I guess you can sue anybody for anything, but I just don't think after a certain point. I mean, I can't blame the seller for keeping it, to be quite blunt with you. It's terrible somebody loses their job, but then they could have sold the house and now they have interest expense on the other side. So I just don't think unless they want to release that deposit, they can get that money back in. Lee, you would be more in tune to probably respond to that as well.
Yeah, and I'm going to go there with Lee because isn't there some clause in the contract that says if financing falls apart, which obviously this did, then the buyer can get the good faith money back? Luddy could get his good faith money back?
Yes, if the contingency fails legitimately and it's not something that they're doing like dragging their feet or quitting their job or going and buying a truck, that throws off their debt to income ratio or anything, then typically speaking, the buyer should get it back if they haven't done anything wrong. Losing the job and not being able to qualify anymore, they're not doing anything wrong. The seller might balk at that and say, hey, I want the money. But at that point, they would negotiate that. And if the buyer hasn't really breached, then generally speaking, they will get their earnest money back.
I've seen it not happen a lot, but I'm with you. I'm with you in that situation. They should be able to, and it's in escrow, so possession's 9/10 of the law, so they can. It gets a little tricky though. Do you agree, Lee, or am I in left field there?
No, you're right there.
Yeah, that's the number one thing that buyers and sellers fight over is who gets the earnest money when a deal falls through.
Yes.
Yeah, and what will happen is, just to fast track this, so let's say Luddy wants to get his money back. Seller says, no, I'm not going to give it back. And then the contract will maintain there's going to be a closing date. That's going to go unanswered. But the problem will be, rightly, that we're going to end up seeing a request for release of the money to go back to the buyer. and it will stay in the broker account, whoever holding it, for how many months? 6 months? Is that the standard?
It'll stay there for 3 years if they
Oh.
don't claim it, and after 3 years, the broker will turn it over to the state, and you don't want that to happen because once they turn it over to the state, you can still claim it supposedly forever, but it's just a long process. It's better to get your money back before it's just sitting there for 3 years and it gets sent to the general fund.
Yeah, I would still try to get out on the financing contingency
Yes,
of the
I would too.
contract. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I
would
would
be
too.
and it's because you've legitimately lost your job.
Right.
Your
Yeah.
loan has been denied because of that, and just provide a denial letter from the loan company
Mhm.
to your agent, and then your agent will send that to the seller's agent, and hopefully it will release. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are out of time, folks. It went fast, and we appreciate Randy
Did.
Rocky at Swan. It did. Well, Swan Financial do a great job of finding the loan for you. I mean, they really do a great job shopping it to get you the best rates, especially now as interest rates start coming down. You can reach Randy at Swan Financial 645-0736. Also, our thanks to Lee Harris, Legal Counsel, Limestone Title and Escrow, LLC. They do a great job of getting your loan closed. And not only that, but we'll tell you, the cookies are really good too. But you can pick the closing attorney you want. Lee and her team over there are tops. And you can reach Lee 649-7964. And if you're thinking of selling your home now or in the near future, I'd love to be able to help you. You can just call me anytime, and it's free, no obligation. I come out. It's me. No home too big, no home too small. And we can talk about the process as long as you want, and then figure out what you want to do. You can reach me anytime at 502-376-5483, or you can go to bobsellslouisville.com and fill out the form there. And if you want a free, no obligation analysis of your cost of your home, what it's worth right now on the market, it's a computerized system, but it's a start. You can go to wesellouisville.com and then click at the top of the webpage or the browser and fill out the information. Okay, we're out of time. See you next Sunday on News Radio 840 WHAS.